On June 25th, 2026, Apple raised prices on MacBook Airs by 18%, iPad Pros by 20%, and Apple TVs by an astonishing 54%. They didn't release any new products, and they didn't wait for a typical release cycle. When asked why, Apple pointed directly to the soaring cost of memory chips. They explicitly cited the AI boom as the driving factor, passing the hardware cost directly onto the consumer as an unavoidable AI tax. To understand why a laptop got so expensive, we have to look past the retail store. The real battle is happening inside giant, windowless industrial warehouses filled with thousands of servers running hot. This chart tracks big tech capital expenditure. In 6 years, data center spending exploded from $90 billion to an incredible $725 billion. Breaking down their cash flows reveals an alarming trend. Giants are currently pouring 94% of their available cash back into this AI infrastructure. They are betting nearly every dollar they earn on a single assumption, that global demand for AI computing will eventually catch up and make all this construction worthwhile. This scale illustrates the $600 billion question. To justify their infrastructure spending, tech giants need AI to generate $650 billion in revenue every single year. But the actual math shows the industry brings in about $75 billion. The deficit is astronomical, and the software companies building these models are burning cash at a dizzying rate. OpenAI alone loses around $14 billion a year just trying to keep their systems running. The industry assumed that enterprise companies would eagerly adopt this technology and pay premium subscription fees forever to keep their employees efficient. The data paints a very different picture. Recent studies from MIT show a 95% failure rate among companies trying to achieve any measurable financial return on their AI investments. As a result, businesses are abandoning expensive models. They are switching to cheaper alternatives or admitting they blew their annual AI budget in 4 months. The core math is broken. Right now, for every single dollar the AI industry earns, tech giants are spending 10 times that amount. To understand why the smartest companies on earth are spending like this, we have to look at an economic model that tracks the behavior of industrial booms. This concept is the capital cycle. In step 1, a new technology promises high returns and capital quickly flows in. By step 2, excitement turns to frenzy, building massive overcapacity that far outpaces what society actually needs. In steps 3 and 4, the math catches up, demand falls short, the swollen market collapses, and only a few survivors are left to buy up the wreckage for pennies. We saw this exact cycle in 1996. Companies poured $500 billion into burying miles of fiber optic cables to power the early internet. They assumed web traffic would double every 3 months. It didn't. Over 95% of those cables sat completely unused underground, dragging telecom giants into bankruptcy and wiping out $2 trillion in market value. The internet was real and it did change the economy. But a great piece of technology does not give a company immunity from the brutal laws of supply and demand. Will the AI boom end exactly like the dot-com crash? Not necessarily. There is a distinct nuance separating 1996 from today. The companies driving the telecom bubble were risky startups deeply in debt. Today, the companies building AI infrastructure are some of the most profitable, cash-rich enterprises in human history. The AI tools we use are highly capable and genuinely useful. The risk we face isn't whether the technology works, but whether the astronomical price being paid for it makes economic sense. If it doesn't, we face 2 realistic paths. Path 1 is the pop. The bubble bursts, tech spending abruptly freezes, and the broader IT job market crashes. Path 2 is the squeeze. To avoid a crash and justify their massive valuations, the surviving giants forcefully hike the price of using their AI models. The cheap, accessible tools people rely on today disappear. AI becomes a premium luxury, strictly reserved for mega corporations that can afford the access fees. We are already seeing the first ripples of this squeeze. That mid-year price hike on your new laptop is the direct result of a supply chain strained by data centers. The tech industry has placed the most expensive bet in human history. Whether the bubble ultimately pops or the market gets squeezed, the average consumer is already paying the toll.